What's up, friends? Yeah, surprise. I decided we're going to play Persona today. Just felt right. Couldn't tell you why. I was scrolling through the games, the music started, and I was like, yep, that's what we're doing. We're doing this. So here we are. I had to go look at my my VODs on the YouTube to figure out where I was in the game last. You fully support picking games based on music. It's a vibe right now. It's what we're doing. Alex, are you watching the Traitors at all? I've thought multiple times of replaying FF8 again just because you love the boss theme. Could not be me. You didn't watch season 1, but you're watching season 2 via the RHAP live watch. Oh, nice. So you're caught up on the first 3 episodes. I just watched them today. And because I'm also watching the UK, I'm just rewatching the same challenges happen a week later. Like, they did the connect the puzzle pieces of the shield and burn them. They did the weird scarecrow thing. And then what's the one they did this week? Oh, the searchlights in the graveyard. Very curious my take on the controversy on Twitter. Oh, I'm not there. I mean, I haven't deleted my account, but I took it off my phone, and I have not looked at it on the computer, so I don't know what the controversy is. Please inform. And I'm not on Facebook to talk about what's going on Twitter either. I live on Instagram. That's basically it. Alex might be an ad, but I don't think so. About how and why Trishelle went for Peppermint. Implicit bias against trans BIPOC people are just Twitter, not actually like mess drama in their reality TV is the two camps. Got it. I mean, it didn't feel good. It certainly didn't feel good. It did seem like Trishelle was kind of reading too much into what Peppermint's reaction was, especially given that she was there the next day. And it did feel a little tone policey at the round table. But I can't speak to whether it was implicit bias or not, obviously. It's certainly not a good feeling to have a black trans woman voted out of the game right at the start. But I do think it was based on that interaction, not based on who Peppermint is as a person. And I think it was just Trishelle's own paranoia getting in the way. And unfortunately, groupthink went along with that. I find Larsa and Ikinsu more at fault. Not banishing a traitor was a correct phrase, because it's a double negative. Yeah, that got a little lost on me. And, like, people do say the wrong words sometimes. You're on a show called The Traitors, and you accidentally say the word traitor. I understand people are going to jump on anything they can to argue for somebody that's not them to go home, but you do still want to ostensibly be trying to get traitors out. Although David Bloomberg did argue, and I kind of agree with this, that early in the game, it doesn't necessarily behoove you to get traitors out really early, because they can just recruit more traitors. Whereas, like, getting rid of faithfuls that you don't feel are helping your cause could be a better strategy. I think there is some prior history working against Trishelle from their time on the challenge that you're not aware of because you're new to the challenge, but Twitter feels like she doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt. I certainly can't speak to that. I've never watched a single episode of the challenge. I don't know Trishelle from any other blonde lady. She keeps reminding me of somebody who went home early on the first season from Housewives, I think. Maybe her name was Brandy. I don't know. I don't watch most of the shows these people are from. I know the Survivors. I happen to know the Big Brother people. Well, I don't even really know Dan Giesling. I've just heard the name a lot. Gamebot faithfuls should be aiming for bad faithfuls in the opening rounds. The odds of nailing a traitor round 1 are not good. Yeah, I agree. And because of the way the game works, you get out a traitor, they can recruit another traitor right away to keep their numbers up. It is interesting to me that UK does 4 traitors and US does 3, even though I think they're playing with the same number of people. US might have 1 less. I think they had 21 instead of 22 to start. But I think there was also something weird where somebody dropped out last minute or something. Are you okay to use the names of the traitors in the comments? I'm going to say yes. Yeah, spoiler warning for the traitors. I'm going to put it in the stream title. We'll get rid of new emotes and badges and go with. Go with the traitors. I don't know if that's a tag that anybody will see, but okay. You would have targeted Ekin-Su for going for Peppermint and then Janelle. You fully believe Janelle knows or has to suspect Dan is a traitor, but like you said, it doesn't need to get him out immediately. It is a little bit like knowing where an idol is. If you know where a traitor is, it doesn't necessarily behoove you to get them out right away. If you know who they are, you can keep an eye on who they're talking to and potentially suss out who the rest of them are based on their behavior. I kept thinking about how stressful it had to be for Parvati to go through a whole day as a traitor, but not even knowing who the other traitors were. So, like, not being able to talk to anybody at all about it. Dan does not come on this show to be a faithful, and I think Janelle has to know that. Well, I mean, but you'd argue this. I would argue the same thing about Parv and Sandra, too. If you're Sandra and Janelle, you know 1 or 2 of the CBS reality stars are traitors. I mean, between the 2 of them, you'd think they'll be able to figure out at least one of Dan and Parv. Not that I'm rooting for that necessarily, but it goes back and forth. Like, there are times in the UK season where I've been rooting for the faithful to succeed because the traitors are doing such a bad job. But then I'm also rooting for the faithfuls for the traitors. See, you can say the wrong thing. For the traitors not to get banished because it's more interesting if they stay. Do you enjoy Traitors or the Mole more, nostalgia aside? I think the Mole, because I think the issue that the Traitors has to me is that there's no incentive for the Traitors to act duplicitous because they also want to build the pot to earn that money. I know we've sort of talked about the reverse issue with the Mole, where they're sabotaging, but only because it's their job, not because they get the money that they sabotage, which I think they should change. But I think the gameplay of the Mole is a little more complex because you have everybody else also trying to like double bluff essentially and trick people into thinking they're the Mole when they're not, so that they get the wrong answers on the quiz and go home. And I think that's a little more interesting. As an audience member, do you like knowing who the traitors are all along, or trying to figure out the Mole for yourself? It's so hard, right? Because one of the most satisfying things about the Mole is at the end getting to watch all of the ways they sabotaged along the way. I think particularly with the old seasons rather than with the Netflix season where it felt rather everybody was so bad that it just felt rather obvious. But it equally, I mean, equally doesn't answer your question, but I think it's also really interesting to know who the traitors are, because you would miss out on, because there's more of them and they're having a whole conversation and there's a process and a discussion happening together. I think you'd lose a lot of the story of the show if you didn't know who the traitors were. Netflix mall has the mole tossing bunny off a sled. Yeah, I know. Does the traitor need to hang obscure artwork in the castle that hints to the that hints to the hometown or astrological sides of the traitors? Yeah, put it in the opening credits, the area code of the phone number of the traitors. Oh man. Yeah, I want to see some of that. Send it to Samoa, send it to Scotland. But I'm having a good time with the season. It was an uncomfortable confrontation between Peppermint and Trishelle. I thought Peppermint defended herself pretty well, especially in the morning at breakfast. It's so hard at the round table. Like it always feels like there is sort of a wave that starts to crest and everybody jumps on it because it means they're not the one getting voted out, and that's tough. Although the UK season has had some interesting, very close votes, which is really exciting. Whereas like this time it was like, or when it was Peppermint, we got to the point where Alan was like, okay, it's Peppermint, but we got to read the rest of the votes. Who did you 4 people vote for? Even though it doesn't matter count wise. To you, Dan is not long for this game. Parv and Phaedra will need to recruit soon. We'll see. I was watching, oh, no, that was an Among Us game where somebody was an imposter and was seen killing and somehow made it through, like, several votes. That's not the same thing, but it's similar. I don't know. I think it was risky recruiting Parv, given that there was suspicion thrown on her right away, but that seems to have gone away already, and now she is a traitor. So sometimes suspicions can like change rapidly, I feel like, but it probably will be down to like Janelle and Sandra to spearhead that movement. You were working during the episodes and got distracted in episode 3 a bit. Is there a penalty if Parv can't pawn off the chalice in time? I don't think so. I think it just means nobody gets murdered, which is a penalty. Or it works in the favor of the faithful. But I don't think anything else actively happens. I also think she's gonna get it done, so. I did really enjoy the way they edited that whole sequence, because like having her narration kind of in real time as it was happening was really stressful. She's like, my heart rate is fine. I'm not stressed. I'm a trained assassin. This is fine. But then the way she was describing it was stressing me out so much. She's like, I gotta get this done. I'm almost out of time. I know these people aren't gonna do it. I gotta change locations. Somebody in this room has to take this cup. I don't know who it's gonna be. Yeah, I'm so glad to have her back on my TV. We're not getting that much Sandra yet, really, which is wild. I hope that means she's gonna be around a while and we'll get to hear more from her later. Your favorite random moment was the obvious fake rivalry of Kevin and Peter. What was that shot of when they were talking about maybe killing Kevin? What was that shot of him in the bathtub? That was wild. That was Kevin, right? I'm still sort of learning names because I do not initially know who most of these people are. Was it Kevin? Yes, it was Kevin in the bathtub. I went back to my my comments in post-show recaps. Loving Phaedra as a traitor. Excellent pick. She's giving like really big like drag race confessional energy, which I really enjoy. All the more reason why it's a shame we didn't get to keep Peppermint on the show longer. You did what you hope is your last snow blowing of this mess. Rudy, I hope so. I hope the storm has passed you by. I think we're supposed to get snow here either tomorrow or Wednesday. Let's look. Oh, snow possible after 9 p.m. So I guess tonight/tomorrow. Flaps in California. Oh gosh, Alex, how I dream of January in San Francisco. Oh, I think we're getting it tomorrow. Oh no, that's today. Tonight and tomorrow. Alright, well, what can you do? But then Wednesday it'll be sunny. Great. You love to see it. Cosmo likes to, I take her to the baseball field right near my house and let her run around. And there's some frozen puddles because we got so much rain before it got cold. She likes to walk on them, and if the ice is thin enough, it'll crunch. And then she likes to try and chew on the ice chips and dig into the sand underneath because the puddles are all in the like baseball diamonds. If Deontay can avoid this poison chalice, I see him being Quentin so loud and so wrong the entire season. Poor Deontay. He's having a time. It's kind of fun to have the contrast of fully regular people season in the UK and then the fully celebrity season in the US, because it's different kinds of good TV. Like everybody who's on the Traitors US has already proven themselves to be an interesting TV personality or they wouldn't be here. Other than John the MP. Oh god, it's just so random and so funny. He has no business being with this group of people. Why is he there? The Housewives, you're throwing Janelle in this camp versus John Burkow is also so good. Why are you throwing Janelle just into the Housewives camp? Because she's like friends with them and on their side. CT is not the most interesting television. I don't like him and I would like him to go away. I mean, actually, Max was not the most interesting television, but he's like a different kind of TV personality. He's not known for talking on a reality competition show in the way that the Housewives or even Survivor and Big Brother players are. Oh, Stream Elements finally decided to let people know I was live 25 minutes into the stream. That's nice. But it has the right stream title, and that's something. It's a lot of people. So there's definitely some folks still who have not had much screen time. Are you surprised Rob didn't get the call for season 2? No. To be honest, no. He is not the level of TV famous that these people are. I mean, I guess, Parv was on Survivor not that long ago. I was going to say it's been a while, but no, it hasn't. Sandra was technically on more recently, but that was on Australian TV. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe next time. Maybe now that RHAP Traitors has happened, which I still have to watch. Who did surprise me though was Marcus. That they murdered Marcus. Or Marcus himself in the game. We didn't get a lot from him before he was gone. I did see his dad's face when he smiled, though. That was cute. That he was a good faithful. He nailed Dan. Oh, yeah. Well, that's why they get nervous about the quiet people, because they're being observant. Traitors. I need to look at the cast. If I could just pull up that graphic that we looked at that one time. When the announcement came out, that would make my life a lot easier. So many pictures of Claudia Winkleman, that's not helping me. Give me Natalie Anderson for Traitors 3. I would love to see it. Nicole Franzel is obviously getting the S3 call. That's one of the Big Brother players I know, so she fits the criteria. I guess you could now say Suri is also one of the Big Brother players I know, but I hate to say that. Johnny Bananas discusses shocking elimination on the Traitors too. Oh god, too bright. Taylor, I think, gets the Big Brother call after her win in BB Reindeer Games. She won 24, right? I feel like I've seen her on some RHAP stuff. Even though I was not watching season 24. Can you just give me all the pictures? Bergie Bergerson, Love Island. Wow, this picture of Dan. When is this from? Is this from Big Brother 10? He looks like a different person. Plus, Taylor is a Drag Race fan. I can see Bob getting the Drag Race call. Monet, maybe. Monet's a big Survivor fan. Although Bob made a Survivor reference the other day out of nowhere, and I was like, Monet made you watch Survivor. It worked. It happened. She won and was America's favorite player and then was brought back for Reindeer Games, so I think she's the modern face of Big Brother right now. That's cool. I mean, it's not like Janelle is the modern face of Big Brother. I know her from Amazing Race and Snake in the Grass. Remember Snake in the Grass? Why did that happen? I think that suffered from coming out around the same time that the Traitors happened. Like just before, if I recall correctly, in my podcasting timeline. When they were like, we're going to do an entire season of The Mole in one episode. Wild times. America's favorite not player? Whomst? I want you all to see this picture of Dan Giesling I'm looking at. The next Survivor call might go to Rupert. That would be fun. I think he'd be terrible at this game, though. That's BB14 Dan. I can't get over the hair. That sticking straight up hair is wild. What year was BB14? Only 11 years ago? That's not long enough ago for that hair to be okay. You're trying to tell me his hair looked like that in 2012? No. 2002 maybe. Taylor was America's favorite, not America's player. Okay, we don't need to talk about Big Brother. I did all the talking about Big Brother I'm going to do, as we have well established. BB14 Dan, my goodness. I mean, I think he's aged well. I think his hair suits him better now than that hair that looks wet. I like Deontay. I hope he's okay. not cut out for this. Whoa. I just saw Akinsu's last name, and it's got umlauts, it's got a little other accenty mark that I don't even know what it's called. Kulkuloglu. That's a cool name. Low-key, could we get Phil Kogan on the Traitors? I mean, you think he's gonna play a game when he's like a host? He's got the perfect eyebrow. He should be like hosting South African Traitors. Wait, where's Phil from? Did I just make that up? New Zealand. We don't have to talk about it. I was like, wait, no, New Zealand? No, wait. Lisa Vanderpump and Kyle Richards are probably the season S3 Real Housewives. How are you getting this far ahead of things? We are 3 episodes into this season. Maybe afterwards, though, we could do a draft of potential season 3s. Although I'd be really bad at it because I don't watch any of the Bravo shows. I haven't even heard of half of the shows these people are from. Well, I guess that's not true. Like, I've heard of The Challenge, but what is Bling Empire? Never heard of that. What else? Oh, Shaws of Sunset I've only heard of because there was somebody from it on the first season. I guess these... oh, Real World. Trishelle's from Real World? Oh, but then she's been on The Challenge. Okay. Got it. Well, they have a Traitors Australia, but they don't have a Traitors New Zealand yet, so get Phil to host Traitors New Zealand. He's got the eyebrows for it. Alright, should we play some Persona? I think we should.